Council. Firstly, I would like to tell you that I take this opportunity to apprise everyone that Pakistan Engineering Council, for the first time in last 70 years, has ventured to tread on the path of innovation. Once the Act of Pakistan Engineering Council was written in 1974, it was very visionary people. Those who wrote it are policies in 70s. Because in 70s, we were the fastest growing economy in Asia, and we even gave $220 million loan to Germany for development. And I've gone through the National Archives of US, in which there is a World Bank report which says that Pakistan would be first developed nation in Asia in 1994. And what happened is all history, that where we treaded and where we went wrong in history. I would like to tell you that Pakistan Engineering Council has decided that it would be facilitating engineering industries because it is one of the functions which was written in our act in 1976. And for 70 years, we've been only regulating engineering industries. And the best part is that if I have to speak on innovation and import substitution, I would handle it in a different manner. Using Blue Ocean strategy, we would say that innovation does not restrict itself to this small topic of import intensity and import substitution. Innovation resides in everything. In fact, it also resides in our mindset, culture, and even our religion. And whatever we are known in the world is that what nobody else can do, whenever a Pakistani decides to do something, he or she does it in a manner that it becomes an excellence award all over the world recognition. And I would also like to tell you that innovation is which has led to our recognition all over the world, that if we can do things in an innovative way, our classic example is our defense sector achievements, making our own Thunder 17, JF-17, doing something innovative way of doing in the nuclear technology. Why can't we do it in the industrial engineering and engineering goods? This was one question which always was in our minds. Now, what we are doing it and how we are doing it in a different manner is, first, let's go on to some issues and challenges of innovators and researchers. The innovators and researchers in Pakistan, they are actually being very much retarded by the fact that whenever they plan to do something on innovation, they don't have the components, they don't have the raw material. The innovator, it always comes up with an idea, and the system tells him or her that this idea is too stupid or it is not workable. Well, I feel that whatever is an idea, if the person has will to transform it into a product, it is a wonderful idea. We have been pursuing R&D for last 70 years. What we are bringing from PEC is a new concept of R&PD, research and product development. There have been enough R&D in this country. We have the largest number of research papers, and we have more than 14,000 research papers by our PhDs. But unfortunately, we have very limited Pakistani brand products which have been recognized at national and international level. I don't challenge the patents, but I feel sorry to say that very few patents have transformed into exportable, international grade commercial products. Now, why that has happened is we don't have a framework for proof of concept validation. There is no linkage or creative hub which allows an innovator to understand for his product what are test standards and acceptance test procedures. And then imagine that one innovator or designer has to pass through all regulatory approvals to firstly get his initial product registered with accreditation and registration authorities. It involves at times CE certification, at times it involves a drug regulatory authority, at times it requires engineering development board. It is just such a framework and mechanism that a person gives up this thought. Then the linkage of that individual with an industry which is willing to undertake the serial production. Can you imagine an idea made in a lab, if it is successfully registered and if not linked with an interested party for serial production, it would never find its way into local and international industry. And that's what has happened with our best projects, with our innovative ideas, and with our competitions and startups. I'm not against it, but I would like to tell you that induction into local and international market is not the responsibility of the engineer or the innovator or the researcher. It has to be a multidisciplinary team and a company which must do that. But there comes another thing, own industry mindset. Oh my God. We have loved to be vendors of main trademark companies of abroad. Nike, high tech, these are just sports industry, all products made in Pakistan. Uh, if we go on to surgical instrument manufacturers, all their products, they are being vendors for last 50 years. Yes, very few of them whose children have come back after their second or third generation are now trying to form their own products, and they want to have their own made and brand and to be exported. If Chen can become a multinational brand of Pakistan, which can find its place in other world markets, why can't all our engineering goods products and other allied industries can have Pakistani brand? The resistance comes from the industry because they are well conversant. They know there is so difficult the provision of raw material, the energy crisis, the custom clearance, and then if any investor comes in, the flow of capital to pay back his investment, the regulatory rules for remittances, all these things, nobody wants to venture into this field. Now, the engineers lack the practical application. The technologists are they are getting knowledge of what is not being applied in industry. And the craftsmen, which very rightly pointed out by Kamal Ali, were those who are good in stitching, handcrafting, all these for last 5 or 6 generations. Such a good HR, I would call it capital, HR capital, should have right now transformed into why we are giving a Marshall suits to the Brazilian brand? Why can't we start our own brand? Now, branding is again a complete part of the industry which is missing. Coming on to government regulations, custom regime, they change in days and weeks. Imagine if you're talking of import substitution, fine. By the time you are spending on that local manufacturing of that at raw material, government with an SRO change the duty, and that raw material which is being made in China becomes more competitive than all your effort. Now, what happens? The classic example is our own dental chairs. These were being made in Sialkot and being exported to 16 countries. The Chinese dental chair came in, and what happened? The Chinese dental chair, it was so low cost, it had so many other options that it totally made our own dental chair business and marketing and all our industry to go out of job. Now, this is very strange. All governments, they provide subsidies and protection to their own brands and products. That's why Ali gave the example that this item made in China is 600 rupees, 4,000 in Germany and 3,000 in Belgium. Why is it so that we have not gone onto the lines and direction of our own brand? The key lies in collaborative manufacturing under license. We are trying to tell people that innovation is not only of mindset, it is not of technology, it is of layout, it is of functioning, it is of process, and especially of your arrangements. And what is collaborative manufacturing? The classic example of collaborative manufacturing is what China did, that designed and conceptualized in Sweden, manufactured in China. Now the time is same. China, the book which I need to refer is One Hour China by Jefferson and Jonathan, two McKinsey PhDs who are stationed in Beijing to study how Chinese economy is transforming to knowledge economy. And I would like to tell you, by 2030, China is projected to be the world's largest middle class. For the last 70 years, middle class has resided in Europe and America. The total strength of that middle class has been 300 to 500 million. Mind it, by 2030, the middle class of China, its population would be 700 million. Once you become middle class, you do four things. You stop working or your cost of labor rises. You start speaking English. You do tourism, and then you taste ethnic foods, ethnic clothing also. Time is coming that we need to cash on this opportunity. We are trying to still go through run-of-mill activities. Yes, research papers, this import substitution of 1.6 billion rupees, fine. We're talking of terms in which it matters 10 to 20 billion dollars. Imagine one product sold to China, even if it is of ethnicity and Pakistan brand, would earn you 10 to 20 billion dollars. Case in point is just a noodle company from Korea with their noodles introduced in China is now an $80 billion company. Sir, think big, dream, and vouch for collaborative manufacturing for your existing industries. The supply chain of the manufacturer and the brand already being marketed should be manufactured at low cost with incentives by Pakistani labor and Pakistani engineers and Pakistani industrialists with a view to ensure that the middle class requirement and collaborative manufacturing, China can go on to high-tech industry and their collaborative manufacturing under license contracts can be taken over by our industry and most easily by Sialkot. Now, this may seem a big dream, but what PEC is doing and how it did in the industry. I would like to show you during the COVID how the Pakistan Innovation and Testing Center transformed and gave the idea of Pakistan manufactured ventilator system. Just a small video clip would speak of how these efforts of a design of a lab to become a practical product.
Unfortunately, on February 26, Pakistan confirmed its first COVID-19 case and declared public health emergency. The situation posed serious threats to the healthcare system of the country. During that hard time, Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, showed high expectation from engineers and asked them to come forward to help Pakistan by designing and developing electromedical devices, specifically the low-cost ventilators. Where the Ministry of Science and Technology assigned the lead role to Pakistan Engineering Council to indigenously develop and manufacture innovative electromedical devices. As a central representative body of the engineering community in the country, PEC mobilized its Innovation and Entrepreneurship Committee to take over some innovative and effective engineering products and solutions to combat the pandemic. Also proactively established a new entity, Pakistan Innovation and Testing Center (PITC), to facilitate the product development process as well as to act as a creative hub to develop, innovate, and manufacture the engineering goods. PITC initiated its first project, Pakistan Manufactured Ventilator System (PMVS), and provided an enabled platform to engineers where they could register their designs and PITC would expedite the development process for them while ensuring the ventilator's quality through standard test procedures. PITC devised an evaluation process for the submitted proposals, signed MOUs with Jinnah and Indus hospitals, articulated acceptance test procedures (ATP) in collaboration with Drug Regulatory Authority Pakistan (DRA). Pre-trial and test stage was designated at Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad, comprising medical and engineering experts.
The Prime Minister spoke that they should come forward and they should build up the opportunities out of this whole COVID-19. And the Minister of the Science and Technology also gave us the assignment that we should have a global meeting with all the universities. Cost of this product, which is now the cost is over 50,000, $60,000 US dollar. But when this product will be ready, its cost will not be more than $4,000.
It was no communication, and it was a very astounding task, which was assigned to Pakistan Engineering Council to lead it for the country. There was a statement given to us that doctors are fighting on the power front. We would like to mention here that we gave them a message today that the force behind them is that of scientists and engineers.
Hence, PEC innovatively changed the calamity into opportunity by ingeniously designing, developing, and manufacturing ventilators. But that's just a start. PITC is aiming to strenuously promote and support the electromedical devices label made of Pakistan worldwide. You know why I shared this video with you? I wanted to tell you that we have treaded upon a path in which PITC plans to become a CAP, and that is Conformity Assessment Body for CE certification of engineering goods and products in Pakistan. And it would be affiliated with a conformity assessment body in Europe or Turkey. And then it would assign the testing labs and testing centers in the universities to become the testing assessment bodies in Pakistan. And these will be affiliated with Pakistan Innovation and Testing Center. This all framework is missing in Pakistan. And that's why our products cannot become Pak made and exported. The framework was missing. The creative hub action would be done by Pakistan Innovation and Testing Center. The labs in the civil sector, industries, and labs in the universities will be affiliated as testing assessment bodies. And anybody making a product would be told that go to so-and-so lab, get yourself verified. That test would be verified by Pakistan Innovation and Testing Center, and that product will be given a CE certification for eligible to become an export product with a Pakistani brand. Now, this framework, inshallah, if it takes place, as it is already in its operationalization stage, is going to innovate the activity. And I would like the industries in Sialkot, and very rightly again said by Ali Kamal, import substitution lies in small components and items. It does not lie in NRPO and TDF big projects. The case in point is Vietnam. Its export of engineering goods is $160 billion. That of Pakistan, with largest number of research papers, which is again 14,000 plus, is only $1.3 billion. Yes, we would like to tell, please spread this message from the PEC and PITC forum that anybody making a small product, we will call it Pakistan manufactured product, and we would like to support it, we would like to finance it, and we would like to assist it following our act, which says the function of PEC facilitating engineering industry. By the way, sports goods, leather goods, and surgical goods, they fall in light engineering goods. Unfortunately, in this country, nobody has taken to this effect that the transformation of innovative Pakistan, it would reside in export of Pakistani brand, engineering, and allied products. Thank you.